She married for money. It's very clear. She bagged the elephant. She was thrilled. She became a, quote, princess.
Well, you can...
It was planned from the beginning. She denied being interested in the royal family, which she totally was. I know someone who knows the ex-husband who said she had a vision board with Prince Harry on it. And
Before they met?
Yes. That's another thing. She killed the queen.
She did kill the queen.
In my opinion.
Well, this is fascinating, folks. Breaking right now, Megyn Kelly has just revealed much more about the Meghan Markle mood board, which proves, and let me use that word again, which proves she was on a manhunt, not just for a famous Brit, not just for a British royal, but for Prince Harry himself. Now, I'll give you a short amount of background on this because Megyn Kelly actually first revealed evidence of the mood board during my former show on GB News. But on her brilliant Megyn Kelly show, in an interview with Dave Portnoy, who is the president and founder of Barstool Sports, she has now revealed that that information came direct from Meghan's ex-husband, Trevor Engelson, via an intermediary. And obviously Trevor Engelson is a very successful TV producer. He now has his own family. He's very happy. He hasn't spoken on the record, but man, oh man, what we wouldn't do to hear the truth from the horse's mouth. So we'll get into this with Angela Levin, our royal mastermind, and Prince Harry's biographer in just one moment. But here is the bombshell moment where Megyn Kelly reveals that Meghan Markle married for money, that she planned it all from the beginning, and the vision board with Prince Harry on it was revealed to her by someone who knew Trevor Engelson.
She is a malignant narcissist who cannot get enough of herself while she simultaneously plays the victim. My castle's too small.
Yeah.
The queen is mean to me. They won't let me call myself Her Royal Highness anymore, but I'm going to put it all over my stationery and on the gifts that I give to my friends, while she never stops whining. And at the same time, I'm getting all worked up. I'm a founder. I'm over it. She's not important. She married for money. It's very clear. She bagged the elephant. She was thrilled. She became a, quote, princess.
Well, you can...
It was planned from the beginning. She denied being interested in the royal family, which she totally was. I know someone who knows the ex-husband who said she had a vision board with Prince Harry on it.
Before they met?
Yes. And she wants to
That's
pretend.
impressive. You got to admit that
Thank you.
is impressive.
She nailed it. Yeah. It landed
because a lot of people probably did that.
It was like shooting fish in a barrel. With all that self-help talk, he was no match for her.
Angela Levin, absolutely fascinating for people like me and you who have followed the story for a long time. Obviously, we know that Meghan Markle did plan this, but what is new in terms of Megyn Kelly's revelation is that it is Trevor Engelson, via an intermediary, who has revealed this story, this existence of the mood board featuring Prince Harry. And let's just remember for a moment, Megyn Kelly is one of the world's greatest independent journalists. She doesn't say something, Angela Levin, unless she knows it's true.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excellent. I think it's excellent and wonderful that she's now said it and she's found out. She's a brilliant woman. And I think that at last we're getting the truth. And I think we're getting the truth in all sorts of different areas. But this one is really keen because she says she didn't even know who he was. Why do you put someone on a board if you don't know who it is? And that's also why she used Diana's favorite perfume. So when they met for the first time, gosh, he couldn't believe it. He thought he'd come from heaven. And I think that all this phoniness is going to drop from her bit by bit because people are so fed up with her behavior, so fed up with her lies and her exaggerations and unpleasantness. And that's it. And I think you can't have more than the last husband saying this. He's an honourable man. He's not going to tell lies. Why should he? So this is the truth. And I think we're all going to be after the truth for quite a long time.
I know. And it's like, when will Prince Harry wake up? How many warnings can you received. I mean, we obviously know via Tom Bauer that Meghan Markle returned her engagement ring to Trevor Engelson via the post. But the fact that you're actually so blatant in terms of the fact that you want this famous royal, and specifically you want Prince Harry, because you know my reporting on Meghan Markle's early life in London, Angela, made it very clear that she was looking for a celebrity. I mean, the types of celebrities she was going after were like Max George from the Wootton and Matt Cardle from the X Factor, but it's so fascinating that she had her sights set on Harry.
I think she studied him. Now, if you do study him carefully, you can see he's very vulnerable, and you can see that he's yearning to get married. He told me that he really wanted children, but the time hasn't come yet, but he really wants to be a father because he loves being with children. So she would hear that, so she would offer him that. She would offer him Africa because he loved Africa. So she went for a quick trip there, came back, told him, oh gosh, that was so wonderful. And 2 days after they had a meeting, they were off there to look at the stars. And, all that was very carefully done. And it proves that we're not wrong to not believe almost everything she says.
No, I know. And the thing is, Angela Levin, and remember, Megyn Kelly first revealed this long before Meghan Markle ever went public with her vision boards. But do you remember recently, Angela, Meghan Markle actually posted a vision board on Instagram. So this is absolutely the type of thing she uses.
Yes, she likes that, doesn't she? And you went through all the details of it very carefully, criticizing each bit. And I thought, well, only some people would bother to do that. They'd never get me to do that. But she did. And that's what she liked, to make sure that she was going ahead. It sort of gave her encouragement that if she saw it up there, it was going to happen. And so that's why she would do all that. But isn't it awful? It's just too awful for words. And I think that there we are. And what she would do is actually to keep Harry jumping about something like that. She would have things where she didn't like it and tell him that make his life very difficult, and he can't cope with her. So he just tries to do what she wants, tries to please her. But it's very difficult if you've got someone who is changing their mood all the time, changing what they're putting up on the board. So you might be there one day, you might not be the next. It's very disturbing. And he's a very vulnerable person, and she's taken 100% of that.
I know, God, absolutely fascinating. And can I just say, God bless Megyn Kelly. What a woman. So glad that she's revealed some more details on that, because I've been intrigued for such a long time.
I think it's wonderful. And I think that we need to realize that all the things we've thought about and said and been attacked for, it doesn't work because we're right.
And Trevor Engelson, if you ever want to chat, if you ever want to hook a brother up, I'm here. I'm here for you, Trevor. I would absolutely love to hear from you. Direct. But obviously, I understand you're a classy guy, you're a producer, you're not a public-facing guy. And I like the fact that actually over the past few years, what you've done is you've just, you've told some friends some key pieces of information which has filtered its way through. Now, Megyn Kelly wasn't
very
finished.
Dignified, that, isn't it? It's
it
very
is.
Dignified.
And I like that.
Me too.
Angela, Megyn Kelly wasn't finished yet, though. Watch this.
So as we unpack like an onion some of the things I'm interested in, I actually like the royal family. I think it's cool. So
That's another thing. She killed the queen.
She did kill the queen.
In my opinion.
I agree with you. I can't have someone marry into the royal family and be like, woe is me, of all these attention or whatever you're getting from being. It's no kidding. It's the royal family.
I can't believe I'm not getting paid for
Yeah,
this.
all this stuff. And then didn't they renounce their royalty, but they still want the royalty?
Yeah.
So it is hypocritical to get into that situation and then want nothing to do with it.
So Megyn Kelly says she killed the Queen.
Yes, I mean, I'm all for that actually, because once the Duke of Edinburgh passed away, it was very, very hard for the Queen to carry on. They'd been together for so many decades, and she didn't think anything of the Queen, because do you remember that time on that day when the Queen was dressed in beautiful green, she went into the taxi before she did. So she had no manners whatsoever. And I think that she had this problem with cancer of the blood, I think it was. And she had nothing to go. She couldn't get close to Meghan. She couldn't make her want to be have a sense of duty to give and to not take, but she didn't. And I think that the Queen got increasingly upset. She loved Harry. She was extremely fond of him, although she knew very well that he was quite a rogue and difficult. But she did, and grandmothers often do love their grandchildren more and more. But she didn't. If you see the picture of the Queen when they actually got married, you can see in her face it's, oh my goodness, this can't happen. And I think she was very, very upset about it, and that ate her up actually, as it was, and her whole behaviour enough to make anyone feel ill.
I mean, look at this face, Angela Levin. Look at
There we are. That's the
this
picture.
face.
Does she look pleased? No, she looks absolutely
Yeah,
awful.
and I mean, Harry in Spare actually revealed, didn't he, what the late Queen Elizabeth II said when he approached her asking for permission to marry Meghan, something which he believes is so antiquated and, oh, why should you have to ask the Queen? So he reveals it in Spare, and her reaction is hilarious. It's anything but supportive. She basically says, well, I suppose I have no choice.
Yes, that's it. Well, she didn't really, but she had it inside that the choice was terrible. I remember when they were together and they used to laugh a lot, and there used to be tricks, and she enjoyed his sense of humour, and it was lovely. But once Meghan arrived, all this disappeared, because she thought it was absolutely ludicrous to curtsy. She made a huge fuss that she couldn't believe that she had to curtsy. Well, she did that in Netflix, which was disgusting, and many people thought.
I mean, look at that side eye, Angela Levin.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
look at that. Megyn Kelly also brought up the ongoing bullying allegations. Angela, look at this. But first, the reason you're watching this show is that it's becoming increasingly difficult to trust mainstream media or the so-called fact checkers who claim to determine which facts are true. And for good reason, actually, given the ongoing debates over free speech, the controversy surrounding Brexit, and how Trump and other anti-establishment politicians are portrayed. But I have the solution. It's called ground news, and it's the best way to stay informed and cut through media bias and manipulative narratives so you can get the facts for yourself. It's been a game changer for a news junkie like me, and you can see for yourself at ground.news/outspoken. Now let me show you this incredible website and app. I have the app on my phone. I love it. Let me show you it in action. So let's look at the recent landmark decision by the UK Supreme Court that ruled women can only be biological adult human females, reversing years of gender extremism. You can see clearly in one place that over 350 sources around the world are covering this story. But what Ground News does is instantly show how it's being covered, broken down by whether the organisations lean to the left or the right. This is called the bias distribution chart. Then if you scroll down, what you can do is see every headline about the story, but you get to see it linked to the political bias and the ownership of the publication. So in this case, we can see very clearly for ourselves, the Daily Wire from the right cover the case very accurately. They use the headline, UK Supreme Court rules trans-identifying men are not women. Spiked Online declared women exist, get over it. And the Telegraph actually went in depth to look at the other disgraced famous faces who declared trans women are women. Total contrast from the media on the left, the MSM on the left. Like The National in Scotland said the result was only a victory for gender-critical feminists. The Canary, based in the UK, ran this clearly ludicrous headline, victory for the far right, as Supreme Court rolls back trans women's rights by 2 decades. So believing in biological reality, folks, now makes you a member of the far right. Nuts. My favourite feature, though, of Ground News is the blind spot feed. Now, what this does is service upwards of 20 stories daily that receive the majority of coverage from one side of the political spectrum. If you love the news like I do, the blind spot feed is the best way to get a balanced perspective on what is happening. So go to ground.news/outspoken or scan the QR code if you are watching on YouTube or Rumble. Subscribe today and check this out. You get 40% off the same Vantage plan that I use for unlimited access. So that's ground.news/outspoken. But now back to the show.
She's a bully. I mean, the reports were uniformly from inside the castle that all the young women in particular who worked for her quit in tears. She so wore them down and was so nasty. Then when she started her own company, similar reports coming out from Montecito about how no one can work for her. She's a nightmare behind the scenes and not toward the betterment of her staff, just because she's an insecure person who takes it out on other people.
Fair point, Angela?
Oh, yes, of course. I think she had no idea. One of the problems was when she went into the royal family, she had no idea how to behave. It just wasn't something that she'd learnt or been. If you look at the number of knives and forks on a plate, she might never have actually had that, and she wouldn't know what to use. And it's very embarrassing. And also that what time you must get up, you mustn't stand up and leave the dining room if the Queen is eating with you. All these little things, but are very, very important if you're a member of the royal family, and what you should wear and the colours you should wear. You have to follow it. You can't just decide what you want to do. I think she was really shocked that she couldn't go ahead and do everything she wanted. And she did, if you remember, she told Harry to tell the Queen that she should be next in line because she was self-made and she would know how to cope and bring the whole thing up to being more modern. But, you know, I mean, can you imagine saying that? It would be shocking for anyone, but she did actually say that to the Queen, and she was very cross that they didn't listen to her. Now, if she'd been there for 2 years and she'd seen how everything had gone, she might then suggest small changes, and they might think that's wonderful. Here's a young woman with a fresh attitude to things, but she couldn't. She can't wait. We've seen that so many times. That's why so many things that she does falls apart, because she won't give it the attention it is. She has an idea and then it doesn't work for, it's gone. And it's not the way to do things. So she did actually, and I think she still does think that she's the most remarkable woman ever known, and that she should be given the honours that she deserves. I mean, there's some rumour I heard that Harry still thinks that Meghan should be queen if they go back into the royal family. So that's why people have to keep them out, if it's true or not. But she's got no idea, absolutely. And actually, it's been extremely helpful that the last things that she's done have shown up how hopeless she is in so many areas, how she can't deal with people. She tells off a friend who she invites to come for a taste something. I said, I'm not more Meghan Markle anymore. She just tells them off. And she's left with people who get a good pay and want to help her. Yes, balloons. There's nobody there. There was no children there.
No, exactly. The kids' party for Mindy Kaling, a terrified Mindy Kaling who Meghan Markle's been really mean to. Angela, I've got to ask about this HRH scandal, which continues to grow.
Yes.
But I just want to set it up by showing you how even Meghan Markle's allies in America are turning as a result of her continued desire to keep using the title in contravention of the Sandringham Summit agreement with the late Queen. Perez Hilton, he obviously describes himself as the queen of all media, big showbiz guy, but he's never been, in his words, a Meghan hater. Even he, overnight, Angela, has said enough is enough. Watch this.
This woman is currently rolling in her grave. And this woman is a hypocrite. You all know I am not a Meghan hater. In fact, I have defended her many, many times. But I cannot defend this. This. Both, actually. If it's your friend, why not just sign it M? Or Meghan? Or Meghan, Harry's wife? Whatever. But this woman tarnished and trashed the British royal family. Not just the institution, the family as well. And if you remember, I do, as part of the Megxit talks, Harry and Meghan were not allowed to use the HRH titles anymore. However, a source close to them says they just used it in private. I don't think that makes it better. Do you? Why do you want to keep aligning yourself to a family and an institution whom you claim are racist?
And that's the main point, isn't it, Angela? And that's why Americans who are allied to Harry and Meghan, what they don't understand, like, you seem to hate this institution, yet you're breaking the rules in order to use the HRH moniker.
Yes, and I think also Americans feel very much about families, and they do like the royal family very, very much. And whereby at the beginning, when she was telling all these lies, they thought, oh, well, obviously she was having a hard time. But to see what she's done is just too much, actually. People just feel that she's disgraceful. And you can't say, I've just done it for a friend, a close friend, because that's even worse, really. Because then you're showing off in the most unkind, spiteful way. I think she did it on purpose, so she must have done. And I think she was challenging the royal family about what are they going to do about it. King Charles is not so well. Camilla obviously wouldn't get involved. William and Catherine would not get involved because they've got a lot on their plate at the moment. So this is to prove that she couldn't care less about them, and she wants to do it. And what she wants, because Meghan wants, Meghan gets. That's that old story that Harry said when they were looking for tiara before the wedding.
Although, Angela, surely Meghan doesn't want Harry returning to Las Vegas, the scene of the naked billiards crime, on the day of Prince Archie's apparent birthday. What's going on there? And you're his biographer. What's his relationship like with Las Vegas after what happened?
Well, I hope he doesn't take his clothes off. There we are. He did, but he'll have to sort of pick up a whole load of women and do it that way. But what's interesting is that Archie's birthday is on the 6th of May. And because it's his birthday, I'm told, whoops, there it is, that I was told that he was offered the 4th or the 8th if he wanted to come then and not to miss the birthday. But he refused to do that. He wanted to go on the 6th. What might happen is that because it's on a Tuesday, the little boy will be at school, and they might do something special at the weekend. But I don't think he's ever been to one of his birthdays. He's always gone somewhere, and often this Diana's prize. Her mother, gets two or three people who think very well, very clearly, young, energetic, and they get a prize. But I think that there must be something else, because why should you miss it every single time? There's something creepy about that. And I think that it's a shame for Archie that, his dad's never there.
It's very odd. It is very, very odd. Now, Angela, also incredibly odd, is this fascinating
Not Angela.
story.
That's
No,
also
not you.
odd.
Of course not you. Of course not you. It's this really fascinating story about the chef, the celebrity chef, and he's
Yes.
called Jameson Stocks. And
Yes.
he effectively criticized Meghan Markle's Netflix show, said that it was forced and fake and painful to watch. And now he has revealed that he actually got a lawyer's letter from Netflix after he spoke out against her. So Netflix did not like it and came after me, but I'm not taking any notice. How can she get all this money from Netflix? I don't think she can cook, and I don't think she should be teaching people to cook either. What would I cook for her? I would cook something she has done on her TV program, but cook it properly. Now, this is insane, Angela. What is Netflix doing, threatening this guy?
Well, I'm absolutely shocked by that. I mean, this means you can't have free speech, Doesn't it? You can't say anything that is negative about Netflix, nor can you say anything negative about Meghan. And I'm pleased that, he's strong enough to say, I'm not taking any notice of this, and actually has told us all what's going on. Hasn't kept it to himself, so he's spread it. And I think it's very, very bad for Netflix to do that and for them to be known about it. I mean, who do they think they are? Sort of question, isn't it? Why shouldn't he have an opinion? He's a first-class cook. I mean, he was brought up by, living in the street, and he had no chance until he managed to get some low level job, and he's just done better and better, and he is a very, very good chef, and I think he's perfectly entitled to say that. Someone who looks at Meghan's cooking and isn't a proper chef can say, oh, I don't like the look of that, but he's giving that sort of decision is actually very interesting, and people would listen to it. And why shouldn't we? What is it about her that we should not make a comment? Because she'll be upset, because she's do something to us. What will she do? She'll get the Sussex Brigade to tell us that they'll kill us or rape us or do something nice. You've got to fight against that. I mean, I think it's really, really frightening that Netflix should actually threaten somebody.
Appalling. Absolutely appalling. Angela, let's cleanse the palate. Princess Charlotte, happy birthday. She is 10
Yes.
years old today. And Angela, I do have the official picture released by the
Oh.
Prince and Princess of Wales. Let's have a look there. So she's out in
Oh my goodness.
in the countryside, which she loves, and obviously a very active girl. She's got her sort of, hiking stuff all on, and it's
Well,
lovely,
she's
isn't it?
absolutely beautiful, isn't she? She's so beautiful, but this is so natural. And she's smiling because I expect that's gorgeous too.
That's
that
a
she's been
previous
out with
portrait, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's previous. That she's been out with her mother, and they've had a lovely time with the wind and all that. And I think what's amazing about her is that she is got an insight that's well beyond her age, and she brings the other brothers to behave if they're not. I remember one that she was in a with Camilla and her mother and her brothers, and she asked Camilla if she could look in a handbag because she really likes handbags. So Camilla gave it to her and she was looking through it all and then giving it back and saying, thank you very much. I mean, that is so sweet, isn't it? When she was little, she used to have terrible fits of crying when she was going to catch a plane, which she didn't like. But she's now grown up and she is so well behaved. And since her mother's been ill, she watches her all the time if they're out together. She really seems to sort of say, look, it's okay, I'm watching and I can judge if you need to sit down, if you need to have a drink, she looks to her. When she was at Wimbledon, she looked to her all the time to make sure that she was okay. It was one of the early things she did when she felt a bit better. And I think she's just delightful child and very polite. And if she's mother's talking to somebody, she introduces her, she shakes hands, and she stands there looking very nice. She doesn't try and bulldoze everybody and make a comment herself. She's very refined. And I think that she will be wonderful for Prince George when he's older, because she will be able to give him advice and help him, a bit like Princess Anne has helped King Charles.
And I should point out, Angela, that the Princess of Wales, Catherine, took this beautiful picture of Charlotte. And I love the fact that she did that because, of course, she was criticised, wasn't she, when she was suffering from cancer and the world didn't know, people would be picking up on everything and saying, oh, we shouldn't trust the pictures from Catherine and, we need an official photographer. Well, I just love the fact that she's ignored that and she took that beautiful picture of Princess Charlotte, and clearly it's really captured the essence that you can only get between a mother and
she's
daughter.
Beautiful, isn't she? She's thoroughly beautiful, amazingly beautiful.
Yeah, it's just lovely. And a great picture by Catherine. So congratulations on that. And of course, if you do want the first access to our Royal Uncancelled After Show every weekday, plus lots of communication with me as well, please sign up to my Substack, www.outspoken.live. It is the best way for us to maintain a direct relationship, but also to protect me from big tech cancellation, which is a risk in this day and age. Angela Levin, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.